another day.
All right, so we are live. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and screen share. Yeah. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes,
All
definitely.
right, perfect. All right. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here at where we're at. So you can see yesterday we closed at 434.9. We couldn't make it above this resistance level. Remember when we opened, and what gave me that indication too, that we were going to be heading down is because of where we opened up. So we created this resistance. Remember, this was support the day before, right? And we had resistance up here. But because we created this continuation doji and we opened up below this level, we knew that it broke. And it became resistance because this one was support prior. So the fact that you can see here, we opened up, if you look at this candle here, this is the daily chart. You can see we opened up below. You see how we opened up below this resistance level? So that showed me that we wanted to keep heading down, because once it breaks, the open and closing of your daily candles, that's very important. And that does signify an official break. So the fact that we opened up below, it signified that this was no longer support, it was now resistance. And you can see it followed that path and it went down. And like you said, even though it was choppy, it still couldn't, what I knew is that as long as we stay below this level, we wasn't going to be able to push up. Because imagine like, imagine working in a house. And, are you trying to bust through the ceiling, right? It's going to take you a little while to bust through the ceiling, right? You need you need the hatchet or whatever you use, the hammer to keep like breaking through it before you can get above that ceiling. Same thing with the floor, right? You're not going to just fall through the floor. It's a lot of push and pull before you can, fall through that floor. So that's how I look at it, just a lot of push and pull. So the fact that it closed below this level, to me, like there's a lot of fight that has to occur in order for it to get back above it, right?
Definitely.
So so and the next level of the next floor, and remember, stocks will continue to go up and down, but they need a floor, right? So the next level for our floor here is around 431. Like well, what do we got here? We got 429.3. I'd say about 430-ish, somewhere around there, right here. So that's the next floor here on the daily chart, but we're going to look at some of the lower time frames. But what I was looking at was the lower time frames. They're very oversold. So this 4 hour, you can even see here, look at this. This is pre-market, guys. Pre-market, we're even going lower, which means that we're most likely going to open up lower too, because we closed at 434.94. And right now we are, this is the hourly, we're below the 200 MA, right? We're right here. We're at about 434.0. It's still lower. It's lower than yesterday's close. So opening up lower than yesterday's close is also more confirmation that we want to keep heading down to the next support level. But you got to let it go to the next floor. You know what I mean? There's nowhere for it to go. So let's take a look here at the 4 hour. So this is the next floor right here. Why is this a good floor here? Because it was resistance prior. You see this wall right here? It was trying to break through, resistance before it broke. So how you know that the level is solid is because it was once resistance, now it's becoming new support. And you can even see with this run up, it was a straight run up. Why was it a straight run up? Because there wasn't a ceiling until it got here. Then once it got here, you had to push and pull, push and pull, push and pull until it broke out, right? Now and it was resistance. Now it's the floor, right? It broke through the floor. So this is resistance. It's coming back to the next floor, which is now support. So these are how stocks move. They go to the next level of support or resistance. They break through it. Then the levels recalculate. It either becomes resistance or support again. But what makes the level significant is they're recycled. So you use them over and over and over, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's kind of like, that's what I see right now. I see we're heading back down here and we're opening up lower. So it all it all aligns here. Now, the only thing for me is like, I'm looking at these lower time frames and they're extremely exhausted. They're very oversold. So once it comes here to the next level of support, this is an area where everybody wants to keep eyes on. Because this is a potential entry area right here. Of course, you want to make sure that it holds, right?
Yes.
You want to make sure that this area holds. It's very important that you just, you know what I mean? Like if you do take entry here, you got your stop right below. But either way, once it gets here, like, you know, we're going to be so exhausted. Even the 4 hour will become exhausted at that point, right?
Yes.
Because we're already down here. So by the time we get here, we're going to be in like oversold. So the 4 hour would be oversold. The 1 hour would be oversold, 30-minute, everything will be oversold. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here because we're already below the 200 MA on the 30-minute and the 1 hour, which is signaling weakness. So coming back down to this level is very probable. I mean, if we do jump around here, I don't know, because we're opening up lower. You just want to keep your eyes. I wouldn't take any positions until it gets to here. Once it gets to here, I mean, unless you know what I mean? You want to trade for the day and take it down here. Yeah.
Yes.
But you got to be very cautious because, and the reason why I say that is because of when I say trade cautious on these going down, right? On the bearish momentum. The reason why, even though I see bearish momentum pre-market, and I seen it yesterday too, is because of what the higher time frames is telling us. When we are in a breakout on the higher time frames, the strength is insane. It's crazy. Okay. And why do I say that? I feel like we're breaking out on the higher time frames because we push past these levels. Like, let's clear this out here and let's take a look at it one more time because this is very significant. Okay.
Yeah.
These levels here, these are months. These candles represent months. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, almost a year. This is when we started pulling back, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We fell below this area here, right? Yes. And then we had another year. Another year, we was under this level here. We could not break it. We could not break this level. I'd say about right here, actually. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we could not break this level. And this is the 417 level. I'm telling everybody, like, if we hold this level, this is the floor. We're looking at the higher time frames. We're looking at it from another perspective now, okay? This 417 right here, this level, we kept closing below this level in all of these months here. This is, I mean, we're talking about May of last year. May of last year, we tipped this up here, but we ended up closing below. We came here, we could not break above the 417, right? We opened up here, we closed down here. Right? Then we opened up here, we closed up here. This is below 417. Then we came here, right? We opened up here, came down, we tipped, but where do we close? We closed below 417. The open and closing is what's important, not where it touches, where it opens and closes. Same thing here. We couldn't break above. And here, we tipped the top. We tipped 417 in the month of February, but we closed below, right? Closing is what is the sign. Okay, here. Then we're pushing against the wall here, March, April, May. Finally, we open up above 417. Opening up above 417 shows me now it's the new floor. It was resistance for an entire year. So now we're coming up. That's why we had this big run recently. Remember, I texted you and down, I said, I think we're breaking out.
Yes.
I think we're breaking out this month, right?
Yes.
So like, that's because the reason why I felt that is because of how we opened up in this month, right? And I was like, I think we're breaking out. And then we had that massive move because a breakout signals strength. So the reason why I'm showing this is because even though we are bearish pre-market, don't get yourself messed up psychologically. Because you might see bearish momentum in these smaller time frames, but you have to be careful. You have to be careful. When you're day trading, yes, you want to trade with the trend, but you also have to take note that because we are breaking out and because there is so much strength, we have to be careful with these trades because any moment we can make that turn, right? Because bulls are dominating right now. They are dominating because they're dominating in this higher time frames in the overall movement, right? Yes. So we're here right now. We're at about this is where we're at right now, about 430, 435. So eventually, depending, I think we're going to make it up here, you know, in the next couple weeks or whatever. We're going to at least make it up to 454 before we pull back and retest this area as new support. This area will be retested. And when 417 is retested, that's also going to be a good area for a potential entry for those that are, you know, contemplating going long. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is what we anticipate. So when we get up here and we have these major pullbacks, say we get to 454, right? And then we have a major pullback and it looks like a lot of bleeding in the market, right? 454 to 417, that's a big drop, right? That's a big drop, 454. But don't let it scare you because it's one of those that's needed because this level will come back to test its new support. I mean, more than likely, that's just how the stocks move, right?
Yes.
So just giving you that perspective kind of helps you when you're doing your day-to-day trading because aware and you're cautious, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's go back to today. All right. So we're about right here at 433. Yeah, we're coming down, but this is going to be our next level. Let's look at our levels on the lower time frame. So let's go ahead and set these levels here. All right, so we're at 433. All right, this was the new floor, and you can see it here. Resistance, 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 pushed above. Now this is the new floor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 lines just in case, you know, it turns on us because of that strength. We got to take that into consideration, right? So let's do this here, which is right here at the 200 MA. So this is right here at the 200 MA, okay? So if we can push past this 200 MA, so we need to like allow the market to tell us what it wants to do this morning. I mean, I am leaning towards the bears just because of our next level of support here where we're opening at. But because of the massive amount of strength, we got to wait for direction. Because if we can push past this level here, we're going to take it to the next level, right? If it falls through here, it's going to take it here. So you have to allow the market to tell you what it wants to do today for your day trade.
We also have quite a few things happening today too.
All right, what is it? What's going on today?
8:30 we have jobless claims. 8:30 we have US current account. At 10 a.m. we have home sales. 10 a.m. we have Jerome Powell. At 10 a.m. we have the US leading economic indicators. At 10 a.m. we have the Cleveland Federal President Loretta Mester speaks. And at 4:30 we have Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin speaking.
Sheesh, that's
so we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so the only thing I could suggest is be careful. 8:30 for the jobless claims. There's probably gonna be a lot of movement pre-market for that there. Let's take and you'll be able to see pre-market where it opens up at, because I think if the jobless claims pushes the market, and guys, if we open up you know, above yesterday's close, it could be an indication we want to head up. But if we open up below this area right here, it's more of an indication down here. But jobless claims might push the market, so it's good that it's around like 8:30 because we'll be able to see some movement. Yeah. Let's take a look at SQQQ. Let's see where they're at right now.
Yeah, I see it's going up.
I told you. I told you. And look at this right here. This was the mark that we had yesterday, right? We had the mark yesterday. This was acting as resistance, right? All right. And look, yesterday's candle. Yesterday's candle was green, but we saw the movement, right? We saw the movement yesterday in SQQQ, which is what determined our, you know what I mean, bearish sentiment for SPY. Because with the lower time frames, and even like right now, look at this. Anytime you see, and this is a pattern here. This is a double bottom pattern. So anytime your stock starts to push above this 50 level, it's indicating there's some strength coming in, right? And I was able to kind of like see that yesterday, like see that strength. And you can even see here, it pushed past it. It's still got a lot of momentum here on the 4 hour, which inspired the opposite. They got a double bottom pattern. Let's look at this. If we're on the 4 hour chart, this is SQQQ. You got this double bottom pattern. Double bottom pattern is a bullish pattern. It's literally, it's like a W, right?
Yes.
Like a W. And guys, in the chat, if anybody has any questions, I can see you type in. If you all want me to look at any stocks, I can analyze that for you guys this morning, but primarily what we're looking for is just like market direction. All right, so we got the double bottom pattern here, which is showing some bullish indication. And you can even see that with the charts, because it's all in line. Like I like to look here and look at the candles, because I'm a price action trader. So I just want to see price. That's why you don't see a lot of indicators on my charts, because indicators lag. They're literally like 5 to 10 minutes behind. Price action is what's happening in the current moment. So that's why I use price. I use price and I use patterns, because it's what's happening right now. So here you got this rejection wall, and you can even look here, this rejection here, you see how it was like a support and it fell through the support. So now it's resistance. We just passed through this wall. This is where we're at currently. We're above this support level, which was resistance before. I call it support now because it's pre-market and we're above it, which is indicating an official break, okay? So this is also showing me that the bearish sentiment that I see in the S&P it makes sense, right? So here, this is the support here. And we kind of seen this yesterday. We kind of seen this momentum yesterday with SQQQ. So now we're here above this level. This is support, and you have it pointing up right here. I'm using the slow RSI, and it's all in default too. This is the default. I didn't make any changes with it. So you got the double bottom pattern here. You're pointing up, which is indicating strength because it's above the 50. All right. Now I'm sure the lower time frames are going to be overbought. So let's look at it. Yep, it's overbought, but we're only overbought at about 82.4. You can see it can go all the way up. This one here, back here, 92, 86. So coming up to this resistance level would make sense, because once we get to this is the 200 MA that I'm using, 200-day moving average. It means how many days, or how the stock moves on a 200-day average. That's what this indication is here. But you can see in the past that SQQQ has not been able to get above the 200 MA. It's been acting as resistance. And you can even see here, we're in a downtrend, but we're looking at today's movement, right? So once SQQQ gets up to about here, that's when SPY will hit about 431-ish, possibly. It may get a little bit above it, you know, before it rejects, but once it does, we're going to get extremely exhausted. So we're going to be overbought, okay? Overbought is when you're way up here. Oversold is when you're way down here. So this is the puts area. Puts, resistance, overbought. Calls is oversold, support, right? So with SQQQ,
what's your level? What's your level?
For this one here,
yes,
for the resistance,
yes,
it's about 20.8.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so that's what I see with SQQQ. I do see a little bit of momentum here, but I believe it's very short-lived, guys. It's very short-lived. I mean, even though we're above the 200 on the 30-minute, remember the 30-minute is white noise. 30 minutes white noise, 15-minute, all that's white noise. So even though we're getting above it a little bit, it's only but so far we're going to be able to go before we get exhausted. And you can already see that once it turns, it's going to become a double top. Boom, 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 boom. So even though we see a little bit of momentum with SQQQ, they're still in a downtrend, guys. They're still in a heavy downtrend. I don't see that it's going to last very long. Once we get to the resistance area, I'm going to see probably more than likely a rejection, and then bam, it's going to go down again, okay? But what does that confirm to me? It confirms to me what I see in SPY in the S&P. Because once the S&P pulls back to that 431-ish area, it may be time to turn, okay? Because the strength is pretty strong there as well, all right?
Yes.
So let's take a look and see what if some of the other stocks is confirming what we see. Yeah, same thing here. And you can see these levels, we drew them yesterday, right? So these are the levels we're still consolidating at. We're still in between these levels. And you can see we was in between this level here, which is support, which is 183. Resistance is 186, and we've been consolidating. We're falling below this 183 now. So if we open up below 183, this will now become a new resistance. It won't be the floor no more. Right now we have it as the floor, but if we open up, if we open up below it, it will become the ceiling, and now this will become the floor, which makes sense.
What's the next level
For the
yeah, for the support, correct?
Yeah, we're about it's about 181.05.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Here, I mean, we still, this is bearish. This is still bearish right there. Let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah, bearish. Look at that. Look at that double top.
Yeah.
Right here. That pretty M, right? But look at the difference. Look at this trend though. Look at it from this perspective. You see how it's above the 200 MA, and you see how it's going up. It's opposite of SQQQ, right? So SQQQ, the 200 MA was going this way, and 200 MA was above the candles. Here, the 200 MA is below the candles. So when it's below the candles, it's showing a nice healthy uptrend. But in order to keep a healthy uptrend, you got to have these pullbacks. Like, look here.
Yes.
You had this pullback from here, then you had a run. You had this pullback, right? Then you had a run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback, run. So and then here you had some consolidation, pullback, and then you had your nice run here, pullback, nice run here. So pullback here would make sense. And even if we have a pullback, with Apple around here, you could still see the patterns in it. Look at this. That's why I keep my charts clean so that I can see these patterns. All right, so this here, you go from the top, right? And then you go to the bottom here. And then once it hits that level of support, bam, breakout, right?
Yes.
You have rejections, and before a breakout occurs, there will be multiple rejections. There will be multiple. It's not just going to break out, right? If it was that easy, we'd all be millionaires, right? So,
exactly.
So you got to wait for the breakouts because the rejection will happen. And a lot of times I like to see maybe 3 rejections, about 3 rejections before a breakout. But they have to occur. All right, so pulling back, this is why I say it's healthy. This is why I say it's healthy to pull back, because you have to have these pullbacks so that they can create the patterns, not just here in the candles to where you can see like the health, but also down here, because what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up, right? Yep. And so let's take a look at the 1 hour. Oh, yep, very bearish. You can see here. So come in here. Now, when you see it from the bigger time frames, you can see why it's important. But when you get into the lower time frames, it's more white noise. That's why you have to go back to the higher time frames to see the picture clear. Because if you just use these lower time frames as a day trader, this white noise will mess with you. You can't see what we just seen on the higher time frames, right? You can't see that same picture on these lower time frames, because these time frames, they represent a candle, which means that each candle represents 1 hour on the 1 hour time frame, right? If you go to the 4 hour time frame, each candle represents 4 hours. That's why you see more information. Same thing on the daily. Each candle represents 1 day. Weekly, each candle represents 1 week. You go to the monthly. Each candle represents a month. That's why you can see more when you go to the higher time frames, okay? So when you're putting these together and you're putting your zones and you're looking at everything, your price is going to be different depending on your time frame, because you're looking at it from either a bigger gap, if you're looking at it per month, you're looking at it in a monthly view or a weekly view or an hourly view or whatever view you're looking at, right? But if you try to only analyze on these smaller time frames, it's going to be so much white noise that you're not going to see the big picture, right?
True.
All right, so that's the all right, so this is the view on Apple. So it pretty much aligns with SPY. And that's what we want to see, because SPY is the S&P. So the S&P has about 500 or so companies over them, which it's a lot of big companies that make up our economy, right? It's all under SPY. So if I see a lot of the major stocks like, you know, Apple, primarily because Apple's a big mover in the market, but if it's aligning with SPY, that's showing me that what I'm seeing in SPY is pretty accurate. SQQQ is inverse of QQQ. QQQ is also an ETF and it's an equity. So I also like to see SQQQ in opposition of SPY, right? And also in opposition of QQQ. So let's look at QQQ right now. All right, so same thing here. We're coming back down to this support here. So this was the resistance. This is where I drew the bullish flag here, right? And I said that this is the top and this is the bottom. And what happens with these stocks, once we get here to the bottom, you may have a little consolidation period where it goes from the bottom to the top, bottom to the top. Once you hit the top, you can take a puts entry, take it to the bottom. Once you get the bottom, you take your calls entry back to the top, right? And right now, look at this. Not only are we close to the bottom, but we're also very oversold. So remember, we talk about entries would be at the support and oversold. So you see how it aligns there? It's support, oversold, right? So 4 hour two. So yeah, we are, yeah, we're coming down to the support level. We need to make sure that we can hold this here.
Yeah.
This area right here, this support.
Like SPY.
But remember, SQQQ is an inverse. So with SQQQ coming up on that 200 MA and it's acting as resistance, remember, they are literally, SQQQ and QQQ are literally like, they go in opposition of each other, right? So with them coming up here on this 200 MA, this is a pretty tough resistance here. So with it coming here, this is a possible rejection and it's overbought versus in QQQ. You're coming down on support and you're oversold. So if you trade with both of them up, you can see when it's safe to take a position because SQQQ would be rejecting. And that's how you know it would be safe to take a position here with QQQQ, right? Or QQQ.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason why I'm looking at Netflix is because Netflix is under QQQ. So. And Netflix, man, they've been going hard. They've been going hard. Look at this. Ooh. This is this is the weekly chart. This is the daily with Netflix. Yeah, they broke out here. And you can even see here, this is what a breakout looks like, guys. This is good. This is a really good,
perfect breakout.
Yeah, this is a breakout. So when we talk about breakouts on the higher time frames, this is what we see. You know what I mean? Like breakouts. And this is the weekly chart right here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 5 weeks here. Yeah, of a big move. So this is a breakout on the higher time frames, and you can probably see it here on the monthly. This is a breakout. See? This is what I mean. This is where we're at with SPY. Remember, I told you how we opened up and we got that big green candle. This is what a breakout is. And you can even see this pole here, and you can see this flag. This pole and this flag. And then you got the breakout. Okay.
Wow.
I traded this one here, this pattern right here. So you see this was before, before that freaking massive fall.
That was a big one.
You see this? Yeah, this was a big one. I traded this one. So you see that flag here? This was like a swing trade. All right, so this one, this is a high. Remember, these represent months.
Yes.
Okay, these represent months. So you got this pole here, which is your flag, right? And then you got this consolidation. So this is the bottom and this is the top. Now the support and resistance is going to be a wider gap, right? Because this is, you're looking at it from a higher perspective. So down here, you got 484. Up here, you got 566. So this is almost, this is close to what? This was like a $70 move from here to here. But remember, this is a month. So this is 1 month, 2 month, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 12 months of consolidation in this flag. You have this run up, you had 12 months of consolidation, and then you had the break, right? So I got in around here and took the break up, but I ended up getting down out about right here. But then what happened after this freaking break, this was the earnings. Remember when Netflix kept dropping and dropping? They were dropping every earnings, and they were like dropping massively. And then they dropped so much, and then now they came back to this 200 MA, and they've been running up since. So yeah, Netflix is a good stock to trade because they have a high ATR, but they just became dangerous because of this fall
that
right
big,
here.
yes,
Yeah, like I stopped messing with them after this because I was like, what in the world? But you can see recently they're trying to like recover. They created this flag here.
Was
right
that
here.
earnings when they had dips like that?
Yeah, it was earnings. Yeah.
So it's possible.
And it was a couple. Yeah, it was a couple. It was a couple earnings. I think it was like 2 quarters. Yeah, it was, yeah. But then you have, okay, so you can even see here, they got this bullish flag they created on the higher time frames, and then they broke out.
Yeah.
Above, right? So that's good to see what a breakout looks like, right? This is what a breakout looks like. When I say breaking out on the higher time frames, I mean breaking out on the higher time frames. They're gone, right? And that's kind of what I see in SPY right now. That's what I see in SPY right now. I do see that we're breaking out, but you know, you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna pull back, and that's why I keep emphasizing breakout. You know what I mean? Because breakout means heavy movement coming, right? Heavy movement coming, and you can see it's here, 12 months. This is kind of similar to when Netflix broke out, right? It took them 12 months to consolidate between that support and resistance before they broke out, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about same thing, about 12 months of consolidation. Now we got this candle. So that's why I said, you know, here, bringing it to here, about 454, 455 for the breakout would be reasonable before they come back down and test support. But remember, with breakouts, I mean, they could keep going.
Exactly.
All right. So we'll take a look at your stock. All right. Let's clear here. See what we did yesterday.
Yeah, they pulled back big time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, but you were kind of aware of it, right?
Yeah. But I didn't expect them to pull back that much though, because they look going.
That means, yeah, they're bearish right now. You can even see here they're losing pattern.
Yeah, exactly.
They're losing pattern. Once they lose pattern, guys, like it's so hard. Like these when bears come in, they come in strong. You know what I mean? That's the thing with bears, and you have to be careful with the bears because when the bears do come in, they come in.
Exactly.
And you can even see here, we closed with this stock right here yesterday at 173, which we closed below the support. So I haven't seen where we're at right now, but
we're like 172. We're below that 173.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that it's more 172, they hit a low. Yeah, so bears are coming here with this one. I would say probably the net, well, you got to wait for it to touch the next support level.
Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting to hear.
Yes. We want to see where the next floor is because it's probably going to keep going until it hits the next floor. So we're looking at about 169.6. Right now we hit a low 172. Yeah. And you can even see here, like this was the resistance. This is where it's been holding the support. You see support. I mean, it opened up down here, but you see throughout the day, it pushed back above the level and then it held. That's why I said the open and closing is what's like, you know, most important. So it held here, 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 here. So yeah, more than likely it'll come back down to this next level. So yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, unless you're going to go down, unless you're going to trade it puts, you want to wait till it gets, you know, at least.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching it. Like,
and then make sure it holds, because look at this. This is definitely double top. This is very bearish right now.
Oh my
very bearish. Oh, and look, it's close to the 200 MA, and the 200 MA acts as a means of support. So look at the 1 hour. Same thing. We're oversold though. So coming here would be, and look, you could see here it was support around here, right? And you can see it was resistance here, broke through the wall, and then it was able to hold it as support. So Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at today, guys. I mean, that's pretty much it. We're just
Before you
we're-
leave, Desiree, can you do one more Tesla? Because Tesla
Tesla.
plunged.
Yeah. Dang, Tesla been going.
Exactly.
All right, let's look at it. I gotta look at it from the bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, Tesla broke out too. Yeah, Tesla was gone this month. That's what's driving freaking SPY.
Yep, exactly.
Damn. Remember, I wonder who held Tesla. Remember when so many people were selling their shares, like in our class and stuff like that? I knew like Tesla came down and hit the bottom, but now Tesla's coming back up. Like this is a pretty big month for Tesla right here. This is a really big, look at this. This is a double top. Like I'm telling you, man, the market's about to go. I can feel it. I can feel the market going. Like it's about to run. Like we've been in a pullback for like a year and a half, guys.
Ages,
And so many people were getting scared. Yeah, selling their portfolios, especially people who had like retirement portfolios. They were selling it, getting fearful. Yeah, but I clearly seen that we were pulling back because let's take a look. This makes me want to look at SPY. I'm going to show you guys in a minute, but let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's running up here. So this is a breakout. Let's look at the next resistance. We're looking at probably about 288.
288.
Well, this is on the higher time frames. I'm just looking at the big number here. It's going to take a minute for us to get here, but I'm just looking at like where we would potentially be heading.
Okay.
Let's look at the weekly. Oh shit, we're not too far from it though. Damn. Look at this. This is the weekly chart. Look at the amount of strength above 50 pointing up. Remember, when we're pointing up above 50, that's signaling a lot of strength here.
Yep.
Let's see where the
sure was.
Yesterday we had a little pullback though.
Because of the devaluation, they devalued it to 260.
Yeah, Tesla's getting exhausted though. Look at this. They've been overbought. It's at 95.9. So this pullback is yeah, it's inevitable.
Necessary.
All right, yeah, let's come up here. Yeah, it might pull back to this gap here. So you got it right here. This gap is about 246.6.
Ooh.
What's the ATR on Tesla right now? It's like $20, right?
I think it should be at the way
60
I
to
can't
245.
remember.
Yeah, they're coming down. Tesla's coming down. It's bearish. This, and look at this. This is pre-market right here. 251.5. What do we have? We have 246.
Shoot.
It's so fucking predictable. All right. Yep. And look where the support is at the 200 MA. I didn't even do that shit on purpose. That's confluence though. You know what I mean? Confluence means that if more than one thing is telling you the same thing, then that's generally your point, your area, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're looking at, and where did they close out? Where did Tesla close yesterday? They closed 259.4.
Yes.
And we are at 250. Yeah, they dropped 9. Yeah, we're definitely.
I mean, they were plummeting yesterday, so
yeah, they're coming. 246, 240. I'd say about here, 240, 246. But remember, be careful because Tesla drives on catalyst too. Yeah. So like with all of this catalyst, you know what I mean, coming in and stuff like that, be careful because and with Tesla, they have big moves. That's why I don't trade Tesla. It's too volatile. So Tesla can go up or down very fast. So like, you just got to wait for this area here. Don't touch it if you see it falling through. But this is definitely an area to keep an eye on. And you can even see like on the lower time frames, we're revving up. You know what I mean? If we can stay above this 50 here with Tesla, it will signal strength. Let me see what the daily looks like. Oh yeah, they're overbought. Oh, they're overbought. Be careful with Tesla because I would not be surprised if Tesla fell through this wall here. Okay? Yeah, me too. And then covered this gap because Tesla is extremely overbought. They've been running for a very long time, right? This is a lot of power right here with Tesla. So if they come down here, it's going to look like this. But you know what I mean? Coming back and testing this level at 207 at some point is going to be necessary because remember, this was the breakout here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 months, right? So you got about 6 months of this breakout. This is the resistance wall. So for it to come back down and test 207, that will happen at some point. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what Yep. So Tesla. So just be careful. Tesla's one of those stocks that are very volatile, especially for options trading. So just be careful, and you got to be in and out of Tesla too. So this is what I wanted to kind of make. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is where people were getting fearful, and I was even telling some of my family members who have portfolios, just wait. You know what I mean? Just freaking wait. So this was COVID right here, guys. So the reason why COVID was scary because it was sharp. See how we were coming up here? This is in 2020. This is February. We started falling around like March of 2020, but it was a sharp fall. They call it like a black swan event. It's something that, you know what I mean, happens. But you know what's crazy? I remember me and my team, we were like, yo, the market is freaking overbought. Like, you know what I mean? We got to have some pullbacks. Like we got to have a pullback. And then this came because look at this. Around here, we're at like 95. We're exhausted. We have a small pullback. This was the freaking, y'all remember when they on China and they were talking about the taxes and stuff like that. And it was kind of going on around that time. This is when the pullback came with the with the political stuff, right? Then we had the run up, and then we had COVID hit. So you had 2 months of pulling back. Now this shit after COVID, right? After we started coming back up in the market, this run was heavy. That was a heavy run. This was only 2 months. Okay. You're talking about March, April, and then now we're back in May. So this is May of 2020. We just been gone. Like, right? Like an Energizer bunny. Go, 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 go. And then all of a sudden you get the pullback. But the pullback is a year and some change because remember, you're looking at a higher perspective. How long were we running? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 months we were running.
Oh my God.
Okay, 21 months. So it's just a matter of time before we got to pull back. And we talk about pullbacks. Pullbacks are healthy. They're needed in order for the trends to keep going. So even though it felt like a disaster, it was just a pullback, but it was a pullback on the higher time frames. So that feeling of you felt that pullback, right?
Yeah, like forever. It
was a pretty like a pretty heavy pullback, right? But it was it was heavy, but it was slow at the same time because you can see that it never went underneath. It never went underneath the breakout because technically this was the breakout here above this area here. We stayed above this area because when we fell during COVID, this was resistance. It broke out of this wall. So you had this big run out. It never went below the initial breakout, which was in 2020. So that's how, if it would have started breaking through these levels, then it would have been, you know what I mean? Like it would have been more of a worry, but because it stayed above the initial breakout, it was healthy, but it didn't feel that way when you were in it, right?
No, because it was too long, man.
But when you look at it now, it's like, oh shit,
no,
you know what I mean? Now it's running time, right? But I think it's going to create a pattern and we'll feel this, guys. Like, I mean, this will be felt because this stuff takes forever to create, especially on these time frames. But look at this. This is the 450, right? We said the 450. Right. We come back and test it. Back to we create a higher low because you want to create a higher low.
Okay.
Or, 417-ish. I think we said 417-ish.
Right.
Come back and retest for a double bottom pattern and a potential breakout. This is what it appears to be. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, but this is the way stocks run, right? So we'll have to pull back in order to create new highs. So this is what, that's what I wanted to
perfect
show
W, double bottom.
Double bottom, because the double bottom is low and then high.
So that's right. So you're saying it ran up for like 21 months and came down and then it came down for about what, 13 months?
Yeah, let's see here. We can look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 10 months it came down. Then but this is where it was kind of getting a little aggravated because remember when we was doing the pre-market, we were just trading. We were doing the small swing trades from the bottom to the top. Then we get to the top, we take a little trade and go back down to the bottom, right? So this was the consolidation period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of consolidation. So you had 10 months of going down and then you had 5 more months of consolidation. And remember, I was like, what the fuck? Are we gonna move? Like, we're just
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
We're not doing nothing. But we were consolidating, guys. We were consolidating right now. And now this is why I'm like confident that we are in a breakout, because I mean, you know what I mean? Like doing this stuff for so long and analyzing this consolidation period, we were stuck. So now I know when we break above, because we're past these levels that we were sitting at for so long. We were trading these levels, you know what I mean? Going up, back to
But
the
even
top, to
back
the bottom,
then,
back
you
to
were
the.
saying that. Even back then, you
Yeah.
were saying that too.
Yeah, because that we were just consolidating and ready for the breakout. But the thing is, some people trade the breakouts, but for me, it's better just to wait for it to come down and test, because we don't know how far the breakout is going to go. Is it going to go up here and then go further? Do you want to like chase the breakout, or do you want to wait for it to come back down, test new support, and then take entry? This is more of a safer entry to allow it to break out, then come back down and test, and then take position, right? It's your strategy.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yes, that's pretty much all I got this morning. That was just a little breakdown of like, you know, where we are currently in the moment and what we see could potentially happen. But remember, guys, patterns break. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is what is going to play out, but this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like based on history, based on the way that they've moved, or they're moving rather. All right. But for this morning, be careful. Because we do want to, it does appear that we want to take it back down, you know, to this new floor. Okay.
Yes.
All righty. You're welcome. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. You have a great day, Desiree.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.